Howdy, Uncle Steve here. In today's tutorial video, we're going to talk about the stash. Now, the stash is a place where you can keep all of your items that you collect as you play the game, both items that are useful for taking on missions and just cool and rare items that you'll collect as you play the game. So to get into the stash, we've been over this, but I'll go over it again. You just come over and type in any 4 numbers into the pad here. There's no pin that you have to be sent and remember or anything like that. And when you just start the game, you just have 4 spots open in your stash. 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. Now you see you can open more rows and more columns in your stash using company coins or using nuts. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to put things into your stash. So one way to put things into your stash is to just come over here and drop things in. If you have an open spot in your stash, the item that you put in there will go into the open spot in your stash. You see my hook shot went in there. I don't recommend doing it this way. One of the problems doing this is that if your stash is already full, the item won't go in there. So we're going to buy a few sticks and throw them into the stash to show this. I only had 2 spots left open in my stash. If I throw in 2 sticks, 1 stick, 2 stick, too bad I don't have red stick, blue stick, another stick, and you see that stick just came out the bottom. So this isn't a big deal if you're in a lobby by yourself here. However, if you're in a lobby with other people, especially people you don't know, and you're trying to put things into your stash and you didn't realize it was full, this can lead to you losing the cool thing you were putting into your stash. So I don't recommend putting things into your stash that way. Instead, what you can do is come over here, type into the keypad, and then take things out of your hand or off your back and transfer them into your stash. So first I'm going to get rid of these tree sticks. So I went ahead and got rid of those tree sticks, so I still have 2 more spots in my stash. So you see this hook shot in my hand, rather than dropping it in there, I'm going to take it here inside the stash, point to it, hit the trigger button, drag it over here to open slot, and release the trigger button. Now I was able to transfer that hook shot from my hand to my stash without any risk of losing it if my stash was full. To eject items from your stash, there's also a couple ways to do it, and the first way is also one I wouldn't recommend. So the first way you can eject items from your stash is simply to grab the item with the trigger, drag it over here into this box that says eject item. When you do that, it'll come out of the bottom of the stash here. Now again, a reason not to use this is if you happen to be in another lobby with people you don't know and you eject something that way, somebody might steal it. So it's just not a safe way to eject items from your stash. The safer thing to do is once again actually go into your stash by hitting the keyboard and then transfer items from your stash onto your back or into your hand. So in this case, we'll take my small backpack here and put it on my back. Now come out of the stash. I'm wearing the backpack and there's never any chance of somebody else stealing it. Another thing that can happen when you use the eject port is if it's a large item or an item with strange physics, like a Hulk hand, for example, they can sometimes go shooting out of the eject port or sometimes even shooting back into your stash. So typically it's safer to put items into your stash and take items out of your stash by going into the actual stash rather than dropping them in or using the eject port. Now the final thing we'll talk about while talking about the stash is the difference between small items, bags, and big items. So small items are things that can fit into spots in your stash, but they can also fit inside of a bag. So you see I can put this hook shot in my stash, but I can also put it inside of a bag. So small items can be put inside of bags. Bags cannot be put in other side of bags. You see if I have this backpack and I try to put this backpack into it, it doesn't work. So bags cannot be put into other bags. Now the third category that I don't have anything of right here is the category of large items. So some things that would qualify as large items are hover pads, nut shredders, and box fans. Large items take up a whole spot in your stash, but you're not able to put any small items into them. You're also not able to put them into bags. So basically you have small items, which can be put into bags, which can have small items put into them, and large items, which cannot be put into bags or have small items put into them. Small item, bag, or large item will take up a single spot in your stash. However, you can put small items inside of bags so that you can carry more in your stash. As you can see here, I have 4 small items inside of this bag. If I were to place each of these items in a spot in my stash, it would take my entire available stash. But by having them in this small backpack, I'm able to fit them all in my stash and still have room left over. I hope this helps you better understand and utilize the stash. Please subscribe to my channel for more helpful tutorials like this, along with cool Animal Company tips, tricks, and fun stuff caught on video. And always, no clickbait. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.